What's worse to make money? Convincing your followers to lose weight dangerously? Or would it be selling, certain smells in a jar to your fans? Number 3. Calorie Deficit. Teddi Mellencamp, the daughter of singer John Cougar Mellencamp, was a star on the reality series Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. After she gave birth to her second child, Teddi gained almost 80 pounds and had a tough time losing weight. Mellencamp started a blog called LA Workout Junkie, and she wrote about fitness classes she was involved in. She also posted before and after pictures on her Instagram. Over time, this turned into her All In by Teddi program. Teddi claimed that the program was set up to hold people accountable for their goals. All In was promoted on other Bravo network shows and the official Bravo website. All In by Teddi was expensive. The first 15 days of the program, which was called Jumpstart, cost $599. For those 2 weeks, All In claimed that the participants detoxified and reset their bodies. Next was the monthly program, which cost $439. After that was the weight and workout stage for $165 a month. Finally, there was the maintenance plan that cost $135 a month. All In claimed that diet plans varied by the client, but it seemed to be the same meal plan for every person who signed up. A participant was allowed no more than 700 calories and had to do an hour of cardio every day. People following All In also had to constantly send photos of their scales and what they were eating to Teddi and her staff. They were removed from the program if somebody didn't send those photos or gained weight, quickly going from All In to All Out. What's crazier still is once somebody was kicked out, they weren't refunded any of the money. In rare cases, if a person experienced an emergency with a verified doctor's note, they could get a refund, but they still had to pay a $75 administration fee. A woman named Stephanie Langlet said that All In affected her body image, mental health, and physical health. She came forward with text messages showing how Teddi had bullied her again and again. Stephanie was inspired after seeing a friend who lost a lot of weight from the All In program. She signed up in 2017 and thought the diet would have been set up based on her health and goals. Instead, she was disappointed that it ended up being a one-size-fits-all program. Stephanie explained how she had to send a photo of her weight on a scale each morning. If her weight was up, even by a few ounces, the staff would belittle her and force her to cut out a meal. She finally quit after forcing herself to vomit because she was afraid of being caught eating a piece of chicken. Initially, Stephanie had deleted the messages and photos because she wanted to forget about the terrible experience, but she later stumbled across them in her iCloud account. Stephanie then sent the screenshots of her text to a celebrity gossip Instagram, and the story blew up. Other people started talking about All In's uncertified diet coaches and how the program had caused eating disorders. Shortly after, Teddi announced that Bravo had renewed her contract for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, a major platform she used to advertise All In. Stephanie's screenshots show that All In was more bullying than wellness coaching. The first message shows Teddi's assistant explaining the program and how Stephanie wouldn't be able to drink alcohol or break the meal plan. The assistant continued to say that while it would be difficult, she would hold her hand and help her through it. Another screenshot shows a text from Mellencamp at 6:41 a.m., simply saying, "Wait." Stephanie responded with a photo of her scale, and Mellencamp replied by saying Stephanie dropped her responsibilities for a man. Teddi then showed up by asking if Stephanie wanted to remain in the program, and if she did, she would need to Venmo $150. In another message, Teddi replied to a photo of Stephanie's soup dinner, asking what the ingredients were. It appears to have gotten worse with time. One day when Stephanie told Teddi she would be going to a wedding, Teddi simply replied to pack your scale, and there was no excuse because Stephanie was a fighter and not a victim. On the day Stephanie forced herself to throw up, she had only eaten a 15-calorie salad, and she started to get nervous she would be bullied after eating the piece of chicken with some green beans. She texted Teddi to explain how she felt, and Mellencamp replied only to object to Stephanie's use of the word chastised. It's probably not shocking to find out that in addition to the toxic behavior, All In's restrictive diet wasn't safe. Lisa Moskovitz, a registered dietitian, said that anyone over 2 years old needs at least 1,200 calories per day. Lisa Lisa said that she thought it would have been better if someone came to All In with a plan they received from a medical professional. In that case, Teddi could have helped them stick to the diet, but she shouldn't be creating diet plans for people. Dr. Jesse Hoffman, who specializes in eating disorders, remarked that a diet lower than 1,000 calories with only broth for dinner, requiring someone to send updates after every meal, is a major red flag. Lisa also stressed that a diet like All In promoted could cause severe problems, including nutrient deficiency, low energy, mood disorders, bone loss, and gallstones. Moskowitz believed there should be licensed medical professionals who screen clients for eating disorders before allowing them to join. Other people talked about their terrible memories with All In too. One woman said after joining All In, she had difficulty getting anything done and went to bed at 7:30 p.m. because she had no energy left. Another woman said she had no idea how little food she would be able to eat and wasn't informed about it before she paid to start the program. She still lost 6 to 7 pounds over 8 or 9 days, but when she told her coach she had diarrhea, she still had to show proof of her workout and pictures of her food. Dana Thorogood, who did the program for a month, said she experienced some serious side effects, including dizzy spells, headaches, extreme weakness, and daily diarrhea for a recommended detox tea. Surprisingly, some All In clients praised the program, which is still ongoing today. The prices have even gotten more expensive, with the monthly fee increasing to $439 and the maintenance program rising to $135. The official website FAQ says that the coaches still don't carry any fitness, medical, or health certifications. They say that lived experience makes all the difference. And if you're looking for a coach with a medical certification, because clearly that's not important, the program isn't for you. Number 2. Jarring treat. Stephanie Matto is a YouTube video creator, social media influencer, and reality TV star. Matto first became popular on YouTube and TikTok for making lip-sync videos. She also has an OnlyFans account as well as Unfiltered, her own adult subscription site. Stephanie moved to Los Angeles in her 20s to pursue a career as an actress. Still, she ended up working as an adult dancer and going by the stage name Kitty. Stephanie then went on to write a book called Mean Boys and Memories, a compilation of my most outrageous, hideous, and embarrassing stories. The self-published book, free on Kindle Unlimited, is a compilation of short stories from her life, and she also talks about her time working as a dancer. She is currently engaged to her fiancé, Nick Stonestreet, who is another famous social media personality. She was previously in a relationship with Erica Owens, who she met on the reality TV series 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days. Stephanie has made quite a bit of money over time, and as of 2021, she is worth an estimated $3 to $4 million. She lives in New York City and bought a house she's shown online. Matto is a big fan of cars and owns a white Porsche. She enjoys traveling, has 2 dogs, and likes to cosplay in her spare time. Matto has aplastic anemia, which means her bone marrow doesn't make enough red and white blood cells. Stephanie has said that something as simple as a common cold could be deadly. Stephanie was a star on the TLC series 90 Day Fiancé, which is a show about couples who applied for a K-1 visa, which is a type of visa for foreigners marrying U.S. citizens. After receiving the visa, they have 90 days to get married. On the show, Stephanie had problems getting intimate with her then partner, Erica, which led people to say she was faking her sexual orientation for fame. Matto revealed on the show that she enjoys watching baking videos while taking care of herself. Before the show ended, Stephanie and Erica broke up. At one point, Stephanie decided to auction off a 1-hour virtual candlelight date with her. The auction turned into a bidding war between 2 fans. The winning bid was for $2,700 and was placed by Stephanie Davidson, another star on 90 Day Fiancé. Matto said she had never met Davidson, but got a message on Instagram from her explaining that she was the winning bidder for the date. Matto said Davidson wanted 1 hour of her time to discuss marketing ideas together. After 90 Day Fiancé, Stephanie decided to start a new business, selling her boob sweat. Matto explained that over the years, she received messages from men and women who wanted to buy bras, underwear, her hair, and used bath water. So she thought boob sweat would be profitable as well. Stephanie, who considered herself a human maple tree and her boob sweat the sap, would sit near her pool with a small container pressed against her chest. Matto would then bottle her sweat and sell it for $500. She explained that several scientific factors, including the temperature and how much water she drank, affected how long it took to fill a jar with sweat. Eventually, production had to be shut down when a bear wandered into her backyard and sent Stephanie running into the house. Unable to sit outside in sweat. She's now looking into investing in a sauna so she can continue to collect her breast sweat. As if selling boob sweat wasn't strange enough, this story gets weirder. Stephanie explained that she decided to sell her own smells bottled in jars as a publicity stunt, but she quickly realized it was a lucrative business. She posted a video explaining the process with millions of views. Matto said she constantly received orders for her bottled flatulence, and people even asked for videos of her doing the deed. Unfortunately for those customers, she didn't provide that service. Stephanie wasn't ashamed to discuss the production details either. She says she put several rose petals in each jar, claiming that the flowers help to absorb the scent and make it last longer. The natural gas manufacturer believed she tapped into a massive market with endless potential. Stephanie wasn't afraid to toot her own horn regarding sales numbers either. She sold each jar for $1,000, and she considered that to be a heavily discounted price. Matto also thoughtfully included a personalized message to each buyer. In one video, she explained that she made almost $50,000 in 1 week and thanked the 97 people who had already purchased her preserved personal smells. Stephanie talked about her gas-generating diet, which consists of beans, protein muffins, yogurt, hard-boiled eggs, and protein shakes. Matto says she usually sets aside 2 or 3 days each week for this bizarre side hustle. Apparently, coming up with all that air isn't easy, and it doesn't come without its risks. Stephanie almost ended up in the emergency room after eating way too many fiber bars. Matto revealed that while most of her customers are fans or just people who like to collect odd things, she's had trouble with stalkers. She said one person managed to find her address, and because of that incident, she keeps bear spray in her home along with an attack dog. She even looked into getting a gun license. Eventually, Matto announced her retirement from selling bottled flatulence, remarking that it was causing too much stress on her body. Always resourceful, Stephanie quickly thought up another way to make money by selling her flatulence as NFTs. Number 1. Gypsy Sisters. Gypsy Sisters was a reality TV show on TLC that followed the lives of a group of gypsy women. It was a spin-off to another TLC series called My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding. The show centered around sisters Mellie, Nettie, Dovie, and Joann. In 2017, Mellie, who was known as the black sheep of the family, was arrested for fraud after scamming Toys R Us and Babies R Us. In 2017, Mellie went to a Toys R Us and used fake coupons on her phone. She had the cashier scan 7 coupons in total, and each one was worth $300. Mellie then used the phony credit to buy merchandise and gift cards worth over $2,400. Once she left the store, she offloaded the gift cards before the store could cancel them. Police and the store's loss prevention team were able to look at the video surveillance and identify her. In all, she was arrested for using fake coupons to buy $18,000 worth of merchandise at Toys R Us. This wasn't the first time Mellie got in trouble for using fake coupons. In 2014, she was arrested with her sister for running a coupon scam at a Target store. Mellie was able to avoid serious jail time by making a deal in court. She pled guilty to theft by deception and criminal possession of a forged instrument. Lucky for her, the judge went easy and only gave her 5 years of probation. The terms of her probation said that Mellie couldn't own a gun, would have to stay clean from drugs and alcohol, and would have to pay back the $18,000 she stole using the scam coupons. She also had to get her GED as a condition of the deal. Mellie had to take regular drug and alcohol tests and meet with her probation officer, and if she violated any part of her deal, she could be looking at 6 years in prison. Click to watch one of these next videos, and let us know in the comments section what you'd rather do. Have to eat fake meat like Beyond Meat for a year, or have to eat bug protein for 3 months?